emergency services. So there's probably no way he can get here, but I think our roof is going to come in any minute now.
I know, I'm so sorry. I really need you guys to help me.
I would send myself out there if I could right now, but right now there's tornadoes on the ground.
Oh my God! Are you okay?
Please come get me out of here.
Okay, sir, listen. Try to get to the innermost part of your house, okay? We can't send anybody to you, okay? Okay. Hold on 1 second, okay?
First shower since the hurricane. Here we go. Oh, it's cold. Feels good. I want to give you a little tour of where I've been staying off and on. Some nights I've been staying in my mother-in-law's apartment, but when it's too hot, I set up a tent, and I want to show you what I got. This is a big family tent that we had, and I've been hammock camping in it off and on. This gazebo lasted through the storm, so when we evacuated my wet, stinky home to come over here, I thought, man, that's a perfect place for camping. Water has been restored, so we're able to take a cold shower every now and then, but for several days there wasn't any water, so we had to rely heavily on deodorant. And in my book, there's no deodorant better than Old Spice Bear Glove. Ask for it by name. Bear Glove is love. That's what it is. It's love for your armpits. I've been driving through town to do different things, get gas and get supplies, and all the trees that I grew up with here are gone. Every single road it just looks different. I'm having trouble sort of recognizing where I am. It could take another lifetime. It could take 50 more years for this place to not look like it has been just wiped off the map. Yeah, this is surreal. It only took Michael a few hours to drop kick us 100 years back in time. Everyone was in a state of shock. Clean water was hard to come by. Cell phones barely worked. The only way I was getting any information about what was going on was through my emergency radio and the silky, smooth voices of Dr. Shane and Tess.
15, we're coming back, y'all, on the big show. It's Dr. Shane and Tess at 92.5 WPAP.
We got 3 things you need to know. A couple of quick headlines to start your day, get you into the weekend.
Okay, well, break out your ink and your quill. Let's see you writing cursive there.
What's an ink and quill, Grandpa?
You just call me Grandpa?
All right, wait a minute. This is a bit misleading. I wasn't listening to this Dr. Shane and Tess. I was listening to this Dr. Shane and Tess.
Hey, Betty, you're live on the air. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on, Betty.
We're almost out of gas. We're almost out of water.
There are currently 165 search and rescue personnel going house to house.
But I need help bad. This is a tough one, buddy.
Just stay calm, okay?
I'm trying, but I'm losing it, I think.
I'm okay. My house is okay. I've just got trees down all around it. We're okay. We're alive.
So this is the tower antenna outside the back of the radio station that straight up blew over, just fed the whole thing, and it went in the opposite direction of the radio station.
We didn't know how bad the destruction was that first night. So at that point, it was just trying to get people information. Once people started realizing that we were up on the air and that all the other forms of communication were gone, people just started showing up at our door.
They needed help. They were trying to get in touch with loved ones. Then at the same time, the EMTs and police officers were trying to give the community direction on who's alive, who's not, how bad is the damage, where has the damage been done. And it was chaos for days in and out of the studio.
Mayor, go ahead. The airwaves belong to you. Go ahead.
Gulf Power has like 6,500 trucks here, almost 20,000 people. And we expect the power to be restored by probably the 24th to 95% of the people here in the county.
It was really cool to see how much the community started to lean on us, and we were just doing our job. We would just put people on the air. Hey, what do you got? What information do you have? To the point where there was a whiteboard behind me, and we just started a list: gas, fuel, water, groceries, and it was all at one point just handwritten up. And it, at first it was just a couple, and then we would run that list every, hour.
A wonderful group of men showed up, said they had heard on the radio I needed help. These gentlemen were able to get the trees off my house. So
oh my goodness.
I just want to say the Lord was listening.
We were broadcasting on 5 different frequencies, and we were all one. All of the air talent, the personalities that you hear on the radio, we were one. The community was one. And there was one thing we were holding on to. Number one, I saw people pray in those following days and hours that I've never seen pray before. I've seen tears I've never seen, but we were holding on to hope. We were holding on to hope because we did not know what the days to come held for us all as a community.
Hi, you're live on iHeart. Good morning.
We've always been my entire life, and it has been totally demolished. I lost half of our house, but WeWall is coming together, and they are pulling together like a community should.
I love that.
Everybody here is helping everybody out.
I can already feel a difference this morning in the attitude, the love. We are 850 strong. We are Panhandle strong.
I'd never dreamed in my life I would want to do politics. And I wouldn't even say the word want is even in my vocabulary now, but I just remember it made you really reflect and think back like, I think that somebody made a mistake. Like I probably am not the right person to be in this position. Handling something so beyond my mind, so chaotic, like I think there was a mistake. Like I'm not made for this. We had enough debris just in the city of Panama City to fill up the Empire State Building twice. That is so much. That's so much. So there was a level of, of crisis. But it wasn't very long before that crisis became, okay, now what are we going to do to move forward? That is the theme, right, of Hurricane Michael, really, is that people were coming out of the woodwork. So some people had chainsaws, some people had trucks, some people had gas, it was amazing. What I was seeing, what I was experiencing as love was watching people love each other. It was like everyone activated immediately. Got to work.
Jenna is absolutely right. Michael brought us together, and together we started to dig each other out of the storm. Rich filled up his huge trailer with good vibes and water and drove around keeping folks hydrated. Nick rolled in with his tree crew and got busy slicing and dicing. Megan made chili and cornbread for anyone who was hungry. Rachel volunteered alongside a bunch of teachers to make sure that our students had clothes and school supplies when schools finally opened back up. Mary, Carol, and Susan rounded up toys to make sure that Christmas was absolutely going to happen for our kids. Greg here is the culinary instructor at Bay High School. The cafeteria became his new classroom, and his students fed their community. Jackie held spinning classes in her garage because why the heck not? Jason helped keep the arts alive by giving actors a space to perform. We lost count of how many neighbors Mark helped out with his chainsaw, but it was a lot. And Tim and Chloe went around painting smiley faces on tree stumps. Seeing those smiles made each day a bit brighter and gave us hope. After a couple of weeks or so, most of our basic needs were being met. We had food, water, tarps on our roofs, and some of us even had electricity. But something was still missing.
So just make sure we're doing 2 whole measures on the beat. Does that make sense? I think people, they need to know that they're not alone. Shared grief and pain and shared joy and expectation. It gives life and new expression to shared feelings. It makes you feel like more human, I think. And that was something our community really needed after the storm.
In one day,
all the churches, all the schools, all the gatherings where people got together to sing, it came to a halt. It was broken. And we knew we had to bring people together, and music was the solution.
We put on a killer show. It was one of the best shows. I think it was probably a historic show in Bay County for me. Like I'll always remember that show. Yeah, the stage was made out of tree stumps and plywood. The roof was leaking. There was no doors. I don't think there was any bathrooms either. But people didn't care.
So that night was amazing because we got to see the looks on people's faces just for a moment. It wasn't about, the destruction. It wasn't about the power that was off in their homes. It was about being with one another.
So over here is where the concert stage was, and now this is History Class Brewing Company. This brewery was literally built out of the broken pieces the storm gave us. The bar is a cypress tree that Michael ripped out of the ground. This table is the hardwood floor from Bay High School's gym. And this mighty oak tree lives on as the perfect spot to share a beer with a friend.
So right after the hurricane, as you remember, everyone needed construction. They needed roofs, you needed windows, everything was torn up. And so there were no contractors available to do favors and let me get this done for you cheaply and affordably. And so we had to really do a lot of things on our own. We actually pulled our own permits and we did a lot of the construction ourselves. And that was out of necessity. One, budget, and two, there were no contractors available. So instead of just doing marketing, we tell stories. We do that through our beers, and we did that through the construction of the project. All along the way, we're posting about, hey, we're building this table, or look at this cool artifact that someone gave us. A lot of opportunities from the storm came around too. People's attics need to be cleaned out. They're getting rid of old junk. You see that on the walls now through Letterman jackets and plaques. It was a time for all of us to reevaluate the things that we had, and a lot of those things were given to us, and those are our historic artifacts on the walls that you see now. Hurricane Michael was like a community-wide heart attack for all of us. You're reevaluating your past actions and you're looking towards the future. For me, I've always felt like this was my parents' town. In those moments, now I realize this is our town. And I think many of us felt like, if we don't change Panama City, then when are we gonna do it? And if we don't do it, then who's gonna do it? And so we really planted the flag with History Class, is what I felt like, and really started championing Panama City as the comeback story that we deserve.
Right uppercut, left uppercut, two rights, two left hooks, right uppercut, left hook, go.
I started boxing in Nicaragua, when my mom took me to a boxing gym. I had a great teacher. He taught me everything, good mentor. And I guess my mom never imagined I was gonna love it so much. So I ended up in New Orleans and I started volunteer in a boxing gym, teaching kids how to fight. And in 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans and my life changed. We started a construction company with my dad and my brothers, and we started kind of helping people out in any way that we could. So me and my brothers heard that there was a hurricane in Panama City. We thought we should go there and help. So during the time I was here working, I met Jennifer Berg and Chris Stamps. And, we became friends. At that point, I was training my pro fighter, Quincy Lavalace. We went into this boxing gym in New Orleans, and they saw me working the pads with Quincy, and they just fell in love with the idea of opening a boxing gym here in Panama City. Go! In a boxing gym, people come to get away from different things, from everyday life. They get to hit the back with all their might, to try to get that anger or that stress out. And the aftermath of Hurricane Michael, it's been great. People here in Panama City are resilient. Hurricane Michael was like a fight. It was a 12-round championship fight, and everybody went through it, and they came out victorious.
We evacuated, and I come back, and I just couldn't believe it. It was worse than I imagined. It was hard to go home because most of us couldn't, and the places that we were staying didn't feel like home, and even being downtown and everything being destroyed. I mean, storefronts broken, awnings gone, just glass everywhere. So it was really hard for people, I think, to feel a sense of peace. I started this little business that was so important to my heart, and I had smoothies and juices and bubble tea. The bubble tea was the request of my daughters. I'm not really a big fan, it's all right, but that wasn't my passion. But they wanted it, they helped me a lot with it, and that's actually what brought Morgan and I together. So my business partner with Baywitch, which is now what you see, she came in with her sons to get bubble tea, and I have boys that are the same age. We became friends. It's nice having someone to bounce ideas off of and co-create. I mean, the creative process of each of these components of the space, it was so much fun to have someone to do that with, and it's magical. This place has served as while be it a small container, an opportunity for people to get together for our art shows or our workshops. Resurrection is the word that comes to mind for me. The phoenix rising from the ashes. We were in complete disrepair. It was awful, and it's taken a long time for it to come back, but it's better now than it was then, for sure. And it's because of new ideas, fresh ideas.
I remember standing here a couple weeks after the storm, looking at the destruction, and there wasn't as much sadness as you would think. There was a lot of hope, because we were looking and like, now's our chance. Now's the chance that we get to build a downtown that we all want to live in and be a part of. Here at the Center for the Arts, we came in and we structured a new plan after the storm, a strategic plan, and we came up with the vision statement of art on every corner, which is just a fancy way to say we want to make art accessible throughout our community. And so we reached out to an artist, Cameron Moberg. He is a fantastic mural artist. We brought him in. He did a free workshop for our community, for the artists, so they could learn how to do murals, because we knew we wanted to have more and more local art involved in this. The butterflies was a theme that we all agreed on, that, man, what symbolizes a rebirth that we plan to go through more than a metamorphosis of a caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. And that's kind of what we've seen as downtown, an opportunity to turn into something that is beautiful, magnificent, and can fly. The art that we've chosen specifically shows how interesting our community is. We wanted to put types of art on the wall that makes people look at it and say, not only do I want to come visit it and check it out, I want to live here and I want to be a part of this tribe, this thing that they're building. I want to be a part of it, and that's been our kind of mission with the mural project. Especially phase one is show the world how interesting we are, and they need to come see us. Have you showed them El Weirdo?
Not yet. I was going to do that. It's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You should take them to El Weirdo.
Okay, we're going to say bye-bye to the Center for the Arts and head over to El Weirdo. But first, I want to show you around downtown. Harrison Avenue is our main street, and since the storm, a lot of hard work has gone into making it beautiful. This streetscape is brand spanking new, and I think it makes downtown feel like a place folks want to hang out. When I was a kid, downtown was dead, but now, everywhere I look, things are just getting better and better, and there's so much to do down here. Right now, there are more restaurants, boutiques, museums, and opportunities than there have ever been downtown in my lifetime. We even have an arcade named after a Patrick Swayze movie. That's awesome! Well, as promised, here's El Weirdo. Enter if you dare.
El Weirdo is a space for the community that
the majority of the community didn't know they needed or wanted. Whatever preconceived notion you had of what the theme of the restaurant would be when you walk in, oh, weirdo, is almost themeless because there's so much stuff to see.
This is Bolero Cat, and this guy over here is Boombox Head. And this is Carl. Say hi to the people, Carl.
What's up, dude?
This is the biggest mural I've done by far. It wraps around the whole building, and at 2,210 square feet-ish, it's a whole lot of crazy for one building. I really wanted people to come here and not be overwhelmed, but just be kind of in awe at the scale and the colors and the magnitude and how many different artists have work here. And I think that happens, especially on people's first time. It's kind of like you have to take a second to take it in and understand just how many hours of work and dedication from so many artists went into the place. A weirdo to me is a bright, bold, colorful statement saying that we're here, we're weird, we're not going anywhere, and we don't just want to survive, we want to thrive and show people why this community is so special.
Pre-hurricane, the downtown was not a destination, and I think that in the back of much of the community's minds, they had been wishing and hoping that it was a destination for decades. That has definitely changed. It is a vibrant scene that I think the community is starting to really become proud of and get behind.
I'm Kevin Elliott, director of Redfish Film Fest in historic downtown Panama City.
What do you even do at a film festival?
This is the festival for you. We can't wait to see you in historic downtown Panama City. Come down and enjoy the stories.
I moved here in 1988. I was 13. My dad drove us downtown, and I fell instantly in love with downtown, specifically the Martin Theater. I was an artsy kid, I was a theater kid, music kid, so I did plays in the Martin. I just loved downtown and always have. And back then, it was just run down, beat up, but look at downtown now. Look how far we've come. And a lot of that is because of that storm, of Michael. It gave us a really painful gift. It hurt like hell, but it unleashed us. It gave us permission as a town and as individuals to swing for the fences and try big things and to unlock all those things we've had in our heads and our hearts for years and years and years. Go do them, because you might not have tomorrow. That's what Michael taught us. And Redfish Film Fest is one of those ideas. I had always gone to other people's artistic events, comedy or music or theater or chalk art, whatever it was. I was always an attendee and a cheerleader, but I had never been part of something that I helped create and gave back to the community. And Redfish Film Fest, for me and all the people that are a part of this is a piece of our heart we're giving to our town. And all of you tonight in the boxing club, watching this film, welcome to Redfish. We did it, y'all.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Panama City, and I've been through a few bad storms, but Hurricane Michael was its own thing. You know, it wasn't just another hurricane. It did something here that most of us had never experienced before. Everywhere I looked, there was need. You know, people had real needs, but there was always somebody stepping up or stepping in to help, always. It was almost like we weren't really neighbors anymore, we were family. And family is the most important thing. You know, we spent 18 days without power. And when we would have those dark nights here sitting around in candlelight, literally, we were always reaching for a guitar because it helped soothe our spirits, you know? But because we didn't have a lot of distractions and there was nowhere to go, the girls and I were able to just sit around this table and sing in ways that we hadn't really before. Something about the storm and that experience and the way that we felt going through that and in the aftermath, it helped us kind of dig in a different area of our own garden, I guess, and to realize that there were other things to say, you know, that we hadn't really known to say before. When the three of us sing together, it's special to me. And I feel so just blessed and privileged. What a joy it has been to be able to make these songs with them. And you know, nothing lasts forever. Kids grow up and they move on and move out, and things change. And to have had Michael kind of be the stimulus to create this sweet spot in my life as a dad, where we've had these 5 years together, you know, making this music and realizing that it's special to us, you know, and to have the community say, we kind of like it too. That's been nice, you know. It's been a way for us to connect and to say how proud we are to be a part of this community, and how happy we are that 5 years later, here we all are still, you know, doing this thing and better than ever.
And I'll meet you at the end of this road with a shoulder to lean on, and we two will carry this load as one. We can't stop you. We can't stop you.
I have really been struggling with how to wrap up this film because endings are hard and I want to get this right. But also, it doesn't feel like an ending. It's only been 5 years since the storm, and I feel like we're just getting back on our feet. It took us that long just to stand up, and now we're starting to take our big steps into the better days. And yes, if you look around, you can still see the scars. There are still broken things. There is absolutely no doubt that Michael was here. But we are still here.
We lived in what you would call a cul-de-sac, one way in and one way out. It took us 3 days to get out of there with chainsaws.
I have to say, by the grace of God, I'm grateful that I'm here and alive. I'm grateful to be alive, sir.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse.
I'm safe, and we just got phone service. Yeah, yes, Earl. Yes, I just got phone service, and I've been staying home, but I'm safe, thank God, I'm safe.
This was horrible. We looked out the window and watched my pecan tree in the back. The wind laid it down. It's amazing that the wind could be that strong to lay down all of my trees.
One of our neighbors was already out with his chainsaws clearing paths for emergency vehicles through the roads because all the roads were impassable. So, you know, just came back, grabbed some gloves, and went to work. And people we didn't know, neighbors that we have never really met before, were in our yard cleaning stuff out, moving it to the road. We've got friends now that we never had. So there's good that'll come out of it. But our city got beat up.